Welcome. I'm Diane Yellow-Light, a certified psychic medium clairvoyant. Today I'm going to talk about why do I feel so alone? The only reason that we feel alone is because we haven't connected with ourselves as of yet totally. We know parts of ourselves, we know what we want, we like most of the time. Sometimes we don't even know that because we haven't been able to think for ourselves or create for ourselves. Too many of our family members or whatever tell us what to do, tell us what we need to be, tell us this, tell us that. And it's good to have that kind of advice, but a lot of times in our parental skills, we're not parenting in the aspect that's healthy for our children. It's a lot of times we ask the wrong questions. When somebody comes home from school, we say, well, how was your school day? And they'll say, fine. We never stop down and say, what does fine mean to you? And let a person talk about that. Fine to me used to mean I was horrible, that life was terrible, but I wouldn't show the world that. I would just say, it's fine, or it's no big deal, or everything's okay. It wasn't okay. I wanted it to be okay according to the world, but inside I wasn't okay. Many people are not okay on the inside, and they don't know what that okayness is all about. How you perceive yourself is what you've been taught. It doesn't necessarily mean that you were taught what you really were all about or who you really are. I think we get bits and pieces that tells us, and then we get a lot of stuff that is not ours. And then when we grow up, we have to get to the point where we have to decipher what is ours. What do I like? Where do I want to go? What kind of people do I want to be around? Do I always feel I'm a victim? If I do, why am I a victim? Why do I let myself be a victim? Do I believe I am a victim? What do I tell myself? What are my words? And then a lot of times we go, oh, I can't do this, so I want and I need someone in my life. We don't need anybody in our life. We must learn to need ourselves in our lives and want other people in our lives. We want to pick and choose the people in our life. I know to some people that sounds very selfish and it doesn't sound right, but it is right because we all don't fit into each other's realm. We need to fit into the realms that feel good to us and feel good to the other person. So if you're feeling alone, it's because you haven't become friends with yourself. You haven't been able to totally love yourself. You haven't been able to be okay in your own space or silence. How many times do you give yourself silence to where there's no noise, nothing going on except for you? And how do you feel about yourself? What are your thoughts you give to yourself? Are they true? If they're true, do something about them if you don't like them. If they're true and you like them, honor them. If there's something that needs to be changed within you, you're the only one that can change it. Nobody else can. They can give you ideas and hints and all kinds of things to get to that point. But until you initially take your heart and your soul and stay focused and committed to improving your life, to creating your life, you're the blueprint of what your life's all about, not a victim of it. We are in the beginning, but then we somewhere learn to line that we have the right here on earth to be a free choice of will soul and be able to choose and pick what we really want to do. There's nothing unreachable unless you believe that. There's been so many books written on what you believe is what you become. What you believe is what you seek. What you know is what you seek. It doesn't necessarily be what is right for you. If you're in an abusive scenario with yourself, then you've got to stop the abuse. You got to start looking at the better qualities of you. And if you've got qualities that are ugly, then do something about them, change them. If you're a person that swears all the time and you don't like it and you want to change it, stop it. If you're a person that spends too much money and you don't like that you do and you get yourself in debt, stop it. If you eat too much food, stop it. If you talk gossip, stop it. If you're too emotional, stop it. You must learn to hear what your words are saying about you because that is your belief system. And if it's not what you want, then you change it. And a lot of times we think change is difficult. We don't want to change because we're giving up all of ourselves. No, we're giving up the part of ourselves that don't work. If you're baking a pie and you put a crust on it and it's too big for the pan, what do? You trim it off to make it fit so it's a pie. That's all you have to do with yourself is trim off the things you don't like and make the things you do like fit and be happy with them and find blessings in them and be proud of them. Say things. I mean, I heard somebody say one day, and I thought it was the neatest thing in the whole wide world. Said, you know what? I finally come to terms that I'm not normal like a lot of people, and it's really okay. Maybe this person's a little off the wall, but if it fits and it's harmless to self and others, what does it matter? We're not to be meant to be Stefford wives or Barbies or Kens, and our whole society is getting into looking perfect, talking perfect, pretending you're perfect. Believe me, you can't be perfect because as you get older, you're going to get more imperfected and unloving of yourself and seeing what you are. The physical is going to deteriorate, the energy is going to deteriorate, the mind's going to forget, the eyes are going to go, the ears aren't going to hear, the mouth isn't going to talk right. All kinds of things are going to go on. So if you're living in a world that you want it to be perfect, you're making it really hard on yourself because there's no perfect world. But we can make the world better and less flawed. But we are in charge of it within ourselves. So again, if you're feeling alone or lonely, it's because you haven't made friends with yourself. You haven't been able to go out and do things with yourself. Or if you do go out, you spend to make yourself feel better, and then you got debts. And if you can't pay them, then you're in more trouble. So you got to find the satisfying ways that make you feel really good. How many times do you go out and look at the sun or look at the moon or look at the stars or thank the universe for the beauty it gives you at night, the calmness, the peacefulness? No. People stay inside. They turn on the TV or turn on music or play their games, and that becomes their life. So if that's the case, you're really not afraid to be alone, because when you watch TV or you play your games, you're with you. So you are okay alone. It's just that we feel we can't belong and be okay without other people on our side, somehow giving us hellos, the loves, you're important, you're whatever it is. We need that. That is something we do need from other people, and we want it from other people. But we first of all give it to ourselves. And then when we're comfortable with that, then we can accept what other people give to us. For example, if you're looking really good and vibrant today and somebody says, wow, that color looks great on you, you look good, you just simply say, thank you for noticing. I appreciate it, and you made my day. You don't sit there and say, well, it's just a blue dress, I didn't pay any money for it, and, whatever, da, da, da. You're discrediting you. And you're really discrediting the compliment, the gift, the love, the compassion of another person. That's pretty insulting. And that's pretty selfish. Most people don't realize how selfish they are. They think they're givers, 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 when really they're taker, taker, takers. We come on this earth to learn to be takers, to learn to be givers, and to learn to love unconditionally. We want and demand love in the beginning, and we want all this okayness, and we want to feel good, 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 but then we don't do it and bring it within ourselves. So what do you say to yourself before you go to bed at night? Is it positive thoughts or is it negative? What do you say to yourself when you get up in the morning? What do you say to yourself throughout the day? What do you give to yourself throughout the day? If it's phony stuff and it's not nurturing you, then why are you being more abusive to yourself than anybody else could be? We talk about abusive relationships and abuse of this. Most people are in their own abusive relationship more than they are in abusive relationships with other people. If you feel abusive within yourself, of course you're going to feel abused by other people, because you're going to pick people that have no clue. If you need emotions in your life and they're important, why would you go and connect with somebody that has none? In the past, it's been because we had to learn the laws of what we see in others is what we want in ourselves and how to get it. We're in a new millennium now. This isn't the time for whining and crying and victimization and I can't do this and I can't do that and nobody cares and nobody's there and I'm all alone and I made so many mistakes, I'm never going to get good, blah, 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 blah. Those are tapes that are useless. They do no good but tear you down, take your precious energy away, make you unappreciated for the good things that are in your life, and make you focus on what you think isn't in your life. And we do have a lot more things in our life than we realize. But when we're in the lack of, we can't see the appreciation. We can't see the balance. We can't see any of that. But when you're feeling really good and you've had those days and you're feeling really loved, you don't care if people love you or not. You're okay. It's the days that you don't feel loved, and it's usually loved by yourself, that you don't feel, then you start picking the world apart. People are out that are around you because we want to blame. We have a tendency in this society and lifetime is to blame, 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 blame. And the only one we can blame is ourselves if we don't get something and we keep repeating it. But we don't have to be mean-spirited. We can love ourselves and tell ourselves to stand up and show ourselves ways how to overcome something. And if you can't do it on your own, there's groups out there. There's codependency group, Al-Anon groups, narcotics group, in Alcoholic Anonymous. There's all kinds of groups out there to where you can get support with so you can learn to hear and validate and see who you are. But if you're feeling alone, that's because you're not giving to yourself what you need. And you're expecting other people to be able to give it to you. And don't. Please don't expect other people to give you anything, because who knows where they're at in their thinking. Maybe they don't have expectation to give today because they're depleted. But you come home and you want it, and you don't get it, you get mad, there's arguments, blah, 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 blah. Give to self first, then seek for others to help give to you. And make sure that you're going to the people that can. You know, I'm not going to go to the bank and order donuts, or I'm not going to go to the donut place and go and ask for the bank information. Be sensible. If you're going to pick people that can't give, then that's what you're going to get. You're going to have to give to yourself and accept that they can't give, and not expecting that they will change and be able to give. You can point out that they could be more giving, and if a person wants to learn to give and understands their id and their psychic of who they are, then they'll change this, and they will do that. Remember, you have to be responsible for yourself. When you do that, then you become more in balance with life, and less things disturb you than ever before because of that. So you're never alone because you have yourself. And if you don't have yourself, you will feel alone, and you will occupy that aloneness with anything possible that gives you a temporary relief of one way or another. Either you're going to feel you're loved or you're going to feel you're unloved. It depends upon what you're trying to prove in your point. I hope that everybody gets out of the aspect and the reality of loving self in the healthy way as well as others, and not be unloving to self and unloving to others. People know the difference in their heart and soul. It's sometimes we just are unwilling to work, or we become lazy, or we become defeated, thinking that it's not possible, so let's just give it up. You have free choice of will. You can give up and do whatever what you want in life. But remember, however your life is going, you're responsible for it. You're responding to it. You're accepting it. And if it's not to where it's balancing you out or feeling good, then you're the only one that can be blamed in the picture about you're allowing it to happen. And if you come to where you find that and you go, I'm allowing it to happen, but I'm not ready to do anything about it, that's okay. Let yourself have that, but don't beat yourself up for every little thing that comes along or anybody else that comes in your life. Just simply know that you're not ready to move on and make the necessary changes so that you can have a better life. But remember, life is short, and life is in the now. What you do today is your tomorrow. Your tomorrow is your future. It doesn't change. You get circumstances and opportunities that come in your life that can make it enhance it. But if you're not in the right frame of mind, you won't make anything happen. So I know each and every one of you can go above and beyond your circumstances, and I ask that you do so today. I know that you can, you will, and you are. So until next time, hang in there, go above and beyond your deal. You'll be very happy you did, and I will talk to you again. Bye-bye.